Have you ever felt like, the standard ways we approach fitness or even just moving well, they feel a bit off, maybe incomplete?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like, we're always looking at the pieces, right?
Right.
Focusing on this muscle or that exercise, but missing the bigger picture.
Exactly. It feels disconnected sometimes. Well, today, we're diving into something that tries to bridge that gap. We're exploring the Samba Protocol.
Ah, yes. And it's spelled like the dance, S-A-M-B-A.
Right. But it's definitely not just about dancing, is it? It's framed as this whole framework, almost a new perspective, a new gestalt, they call it, on human performance and physical literacy.
That's a great way to put it. It's a shift away from that reductionist view, breaking everything down, towards understanding the body through these whole organizing principles.
Principles like, I saw things like tensegrity, simplicity, synergy, and something about the psychophysiological way we interact with the world. Sounds deep.
It is pretty deep, but also incredibly practical when you break it down. It's about how we're built and how we naturally function, really.
Okay, so our mission today, for everyone listening, is to unpack this. How can the Samba Protocol maybe reshape how we think about movement, about learning new skills, even development overall?
And we'll try to keep it clear. Some terms might sound technical, like tensegrity, but the concepts behind them are actually quite intuitive once you explore them. We'll definitely avoid getting bogged down in jargon.
Good, because the aim is to see if this offers something genuinely different. And the person behind it, Terence Hughes. His background sounds interesting. Musical movement, martial artist, and conditioning coach.
Yeah, that combination itself hints at an integrated approach, doesn't it? Blending rhythm, movement, and physical preparedness.
It really does. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What is the Samba Protocol at its heart? You said it's integrated.
Right. It's fundamentally an integrated, movement-based framework. It's not designed to replace everything you do, necessarily. The idea is it can superimpose over activities you're already involved in.
Superimpose, like add a layer onto sports or fitness or even just daily life stuff.
Precisely. Think of it as enhancing the quality of whatever movement you're doing. The core philosophy is about moving better, and that better isn't just about, say, lifting heavier.
What is it about then?
It's about integrating the mind and body more effectively, tapping into our natural, efficient human movement patterns, and, crucially, using rhythm to enhance all of that.
Okay, mind, body, natural patterns, rhythm as a driver. That sounds like a powerful mix. You mentioned those core principles earlier. Tensegrity was one. Can you unpack that a bit? It sounds architectural.
It actually comes from architecture and engineering, but it applies beautifully to biology. Think of a spider web, or maybe a suspension bridge.
Okay.
These structures have parts under continuous tension, like our fascia, our connective tissues, our muscles, and other parts resisting compression, like our bones. They work together in this dynamic balance. It's not a rigid frame.
So everything is kind of pulling and pushing on everything else all the time in a balanced way, not just stacked like bricks.
Exactly. And the implication is huge. Forces don't just hit one spot. They get distributed throughout the entire network. Your whole body absorbs and adapts to stress.
So that connects to efficiency and maybe even injury resilience if the load is spread out.
Precisely. When the body works according to these tensegrity principles, movement becomes more efficient, less effortful, and the system is better able to handle forces without breaking down in one weak spot. Understanding this interconnectedness is really foundational to the Samba approach.
That makes a lot of sense. You also mentioned synergy. How's that different from, say, just muscle strength?
Synergy is all about teamwork within the body. How muscles, nerves, and whole systems cooperate and coordinate, rather than just acting solo. Think about walking.
Okay, yeah. Legs moving.
Well, yes, but it's so much more. Your core is constantly stabilizing. Your arms swing to counterbalance and provide momentum. Your foot arches are adapting to the ground. Countless muscles are firing in perfect sequence. It's a symphony of coordination.
Right, not just quad strength or calf strength in isolation. It's the whole orchestra playing together, like you said earlier.
Exactly. And that contrasts sharply with, traditional bodybuilding sometimes, where the focus is very much on isolating one muscle. The Samba Protocol inherently respects and uses both tensegrity, that structural integrity, and synergy, that coordinated action. The movements are designed to foster that.
Okay, structure, tensegrity, and teamwork, synergy.
Got it.
Now, what about the way we move? You mentioned natural patterns.
Yeah, this is key. The protocol really emphasizes spiral and diagonal movements. Think about your daily life. How often do you move purely in a straight line, like a robot?
Hardly ever, I guess. Reaching for things, turning.
Exactly. Walking itself involves rotation through the hips and torso. Throwing a ball, swinging a racket or a golf club, even just reaching across your body to grab something. These are all spiral or diagonal patterns. They're fundamental to how we're built to move efficiently in 3 dimensions.
And these patterns relate directly to things like our gait, rotational power in sports.
Absolutely, and generating force across multiple planes of motion. The issue is our modern lifestyle, lots of sitting, lots of linear repetitive tasks, can mean we neglect these patterns. They can become underdeveloped or inefficient.
So we kind of forget how to move naturally.
In a way, yes. Or those pathways just become less utilized. The Samba Protocol aims to reawaken and retrain these efficient, often spiral and diagonal pathways. It recognizes that complex actions are built from these simpler, fundamental patterns working together.
Okay, bringing back that innate movement intelligence. So how does the protocol actually train these things? What are the guiding principles there?
Well, it takes traditional principles like specificity and looks at them through this integrated lens. Specificity usually means you get good at what you train, right?
Yeah, practice makes perfect. Lift heavy, get strong, run far, get endurance.
Sure, but some broadens that. It's not just about training isolated capacities like strength or endurance. It's about training movements themselves, training qualities like rhythm, coordination, balance, and training that overall integration of the system.
So the specificity is geared towards the quality and integration of movement, not just the output.
Exactly. The exercises are specifically designed to elicit those integrated adaptations, which leads to another core idea, action learning.
Action learning, learning by doing.
Pretty much. But it's more than just repetition. It's about learning through the feedback you get from the movement itself. Your body-mind system explores, makes small errors, adjusts, and discovers more efficient solutions.
Like figuring out how to keep your balance on a tricky surface. You don't read a manual, you just feel it and adjust.
Perfect example. The protocol creates situations using rhythm, different movements, where your system is encouraged to experiment and find those better solutions. It's about facilitating those aha moments in movement, rather than just drilling a perfect form from day one.
I like that. It sounds more exploratory. Now, you've mentioned rhythm a few times. Let's talk about the rhythm section. This seems like a really defining feature.
Oh, it's absolutely central. Music and rhythm aren't just background noise in the Samba protocol. They're not just for motivation, though they help with that too. They are active components.
Back to how?
They provide structure, timing cues, help with coordination, and can even facilitate getting into a state of flow where movement feels more effortless and enjoyable. The rhythm guides and shapes the movement.
And you can vary the rhythm, like change the tempo.
Yes, and that's a key training tool. Changing the tempo of the music or the beat changes the demand. A slower tempo might really challenge your control and stability within a movement.
While a faster one might push power or endurance.
Exactly. Within the same basic movement pattern, you can target different physical qualities just by manipulating the rhythm. It adds layers of challenge.
The outline also mentioned something really intriguing, odd meters and rhythm challenges. What's that about?
Ah, yes. That's where it gets really interesting cognitively. Most music we listen to, especially workout music, is in very predictable, even rhythms like 44 time, easy to follow.
Right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Exactly. The Samba protocol sometimes incorporates odd meters, rhythms that feel less predictable, like 54 or 78 time. Or it might present rhythmic challenges like syncopation or polyrhythms.
That sounds hard to move to.
It can be initially, and that's the point. It disrupts your automatic pilot. You can't rely on ingrained habits. You have to pay closer attention. It significantly increases the cognitive demand.
Why is that beneficial?
It forces adaptability. It breaks habitual, potentially inefficient movement patterns. It enhances focus, presence, and your brain's ability to process complex timing information while moving. It really sharpens the connection between thinking and doing.
Wow. So the rhythm isn't just keeping time, it's actively training your brain and body simultaneously.
That's the idea. It's a core component driving movement, quality, challenge, and cognitive load.
This is fascinating. Okay, we've covered structure, movement, training, rhythm.
Mhm.
What about the command center? The cognitive and behavioral side.
Right. Behaviorally, it looks at things like lateralization, being right-handed or left-footed, our natural preferences.
Sure, most people have a dominant side.
The protocol encourages awareness of these preferences and also challenges ingrained habits that might stem from them. It pushes you to explore movement on your non-dominant side, aiming for more ambidextrous capability or at least awareness.
So becoming more balanced and adaptable side to side.
Exactly. Then, cognitively, a huge piece is cross-lateral movement. This means movements that cross the midline of the body.
Like touching your right hand to your left knee.
Precisely. Or swinging your arm across your body. These kinds of movements are thought to be really important for integrating the left and right hemispheres of the brain. They promote better communication across the corpus callosum.
And wait, those spiral and diagonal patterns we talked about earlier, they naturally involve crossing the midline, don't they?
They absolutely do. See how it all connects. Moving in spirals and diagonals inherently encourages that cross-lateral integration. It's about moving in all directions, using the whole body in a coordinated way.
Okay, that clicks. So cross-lateral moves are good for the brain. What else on the cognitive front?
Well, when you layer these things, the rhythm challenges we discussed, the cross-lateral tasks, maybe even adding visual cues like tracking a target while moving you significantly increase the cognitive load.
Meaning your brain has to work harder.
Yes. It has to process information from multiple senses, simultaneously auditory from the rhythm, kinesthetic from the movement itself, maybe visual and coordinate a complex motor response. It's demanding.
So it's genuinely a workout for the brain as much as the body.
That's a key aspect. The Samba Protocol is positioned as this powerful tool for training both physical and cognitive function together at the same time. The multimodal input makes it a very rich learning environment.
Okay, this picture's getting really complete now. We see the principles, the rhythm, the cognitive side. How does this all cash out in real life? Let's talk about making it real, function, and balance.
Right, because exercise for exercise's sake isn't the goal here. Function, in this context, means applied meaning. How does this training translate? The idea is that by improving these integrated movements and qualities, coordination, rhythm, whole body synergy, dynamic balance, you get better at real life stuff, like carrying groceries without straining your back, reaching overhead comfortably, playing actively with kids or grandkids, or performing better and more safely in your chosen sport because those fundamental patterns are more efficient. It moves beyond just gym performance.
Making you more generally capable and resilient. What about balance specifically? That's a big one for many people.
Definitely. And the protocol views balance as a dynamic skill, not just static. Static balance is, standing still on one leg. Important, but limited.
Dynamic is balance while moving.
Exactly. Maintaining stability through movement while shifting weight, reacting to changes. Because Samba incorporates rhythmic challenges, cross-lateral patterns, weight shifts, and varied tempos, it inherently trains dynamic balance as an integrated part of every movement. You're not just doing balance exercises, you're building balance into how you move.
So it's woven in, not tacked on, which probably makes it more transferable to unpredictable real-world situations.
That's the theory. By constantly challenging your stability within varied rhythmic movements, you develop a more robust and adaptable sense of balance.
So we pull it all together. The tensegrity provides the resilient structure, synergy coordinates the action, rhythm drives the timing and flow, and the cognitive elements sharpen control and awareness. And all this leads to better function and dynamic balance.
That's a really good summary of how the framework hangs together. All those elements contribute collectively.
Could you give a quick idea of how a session might differ, say for an athlete versus an older adult?
Sure, it's very adaptable. An athlete might use the protocol with faster tempos, more complex rhythms, and movements that directly mimic or support their sport-enhancing rotational power, agility, coordination under pressure.
Okay.
An older adult, maybe focusing on fall prevention, might use slower tempos, simpler rhythms, and foundational movements emphasizing smooth weight shifts, cross-lateral coordination, and building confidence in their stability for daily tasks like walking or getting up from a chair.
And someone just looking for general fitness.
They might get a blend movements that challenge coordination and body awareness, improve posture through better integration, enhance balance, all guided by engaging rhythms. The principles remain the same, but the specific application, the movements, tempos, complexity is tailored. It's a framework, not a rigid prescription.
Understood. Well, this has been incredibly insightful. It really does paint the Samba Protocol as much more than just another workout routine. It feels like a genuine philosophy of movement.
I think that's fair to say. It presents itself as a holistic framework, aiming to enhance how we understand and engage with our bodies, moving beyond traditional fitness silos. By integrating these core principles, rhythm, and cognitive challenges, it really pushes towards a broader view of performance and physical literacy.
So for everyone listening, the key takeaway seems to be this shift towards integration, thinking about Tensegrity, synergy, natural patterns, rhythm, and cognitive engagement all working together. It's a path towards maybe moving better, learning more effectively through movement.
And it suggests our potential for physical and cognitive development might be more intertwined and accessible through this kind of integrated practice than we often realize.
It definitely leaves you thinking, how might these principles already be playing out in my own movements, maybe unconsciously? Or how could I start to look at my own activity, whether it's sports or just walking, through this more integrated lens?
Exactly. This deep dive is really just scratching the surface. Hopefully it sparks some curiosity. Which parts resonate? What questions does it raise about your own movement journey?
It certainly feels like there's a lot more to explore there. A really fascinating look at the potential within human movement. Thanks for breaking it all down.
My pleasure. It's a compelling approach.